Viewer discretion is advised for this love-themed podcast. The content may contain discussions and sensitive topics related to relationships, dating, and love. Some content may not be suitable for all listeners, especially those uncomfortable with open and vulnerable conversations. We encourage our listeners to practice self-care and to reach out to a trusted friend or professional if they need support. You have no friends, you have me. Welcome to the Lost Loverboy Podcast. Welcome to another episode of the Lost Loverboy Podcast. I am your host, as always. I don't know if you missed me, but I missed you. You know what I'm saying? It's been like a month, 2 months. Oh, I feel like it ain't my fault. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of people I couldn't blame. Justice gonna be the first motherfucker. Fuck him. Excuse my language. I don't even mean to start like that. We back. And obviously we got a little different setup. We back with a guest that's been highly requested. It's been a long time since episode number 5. Everybody was saying, get on. And we are here with none other than Michelle Obama.
All right.
Okay, I quit. We are here with none other than my mother. Hi, Mom. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm blessed by God. So everybody been asking you to be on the episode, and they wanted us to have a conversation, and la-di-da-di-da-di.
We like to party.
So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is tell them what the fuck you like to be called. Because sometimes they call you Mrs. Wiley. Sometimes they call you Mama Wiley. Sometimes, you know, what would you prefer to be referred to when it comes to social media?
I'm cool with Didi.
And where does Didi come from?
My middle name is Demetri. And I'm assuming when I was younger, my uncle, Bubby, did not care for Melissa, which is my given name. Okay. So he decided to call me Didi, and it's been Didi ever since.
Okay, so Demetri, is that where Demetri stems from?
Nope.
Where does Demetri come from?
I was a big soap opera fan back in the 90s. General Hospital, All My Children, One Life to Live. And on All My Children, it was a character named Demetri Merrick. He was a fine piece of meat, baby. Oh, he was a fine piece of meat. You know, they said it about me sometimes. He was a fine piece, baby. And I remembered that name, and I just loved that name. And with my name being Demetrius, I thought it was a cute name for a boy. So
where did Kevin come from? Who's that?
Long story. Well, you know, your dad's name is Kelvin. And he wanted you to be Kelvin. But he forgot he had a son named Kelvin already.
Hey, no diss to you, man. But you know, no disrespect, but I was always you twice.
He was just hyped up at the time, you know. And so I was like, all right, he wanted you to be Kelvin the third. But I didn't like that, so I just took the L out and called you Kevin, Demetri, and then Wiley.
Very fair, very fair. So, due to this being such a highly requested episode, I got a ton of questions for you.
Okay.
First question. Do you believe that how much of the way you was raised shaped you to be who you are right now in this moment? How were you raised? Let's start there. Because everybody want to know. Because everybody be thinking, I grew up in such a loving, such a nurturing, hugging, I love you household. Is that how our household was? Could you explain it to him, please?
So that's what you're doing?
That's what I asked. I want to give him that raw. Like, matter of fact, let's take a shot.
Okay.
We too early. I want to give him that raw. Give him that raw. Tell him how it was.
Well, I was raised by my mom and a couple of dads.
A couple of dads? What makes that a couple of dads?
Well...
What about your dad? Is he still living?
My dad is... You know your granddad is still alive. My dad is JoJo. Love my dad. He's just who he is.
What does that mean?
He's just who he is. He's Joe Rodeo. He has his good and his bad. I'm not going to talk about his bad, but we know. But the good side of my dad is he's always been who he is. He's a giving person, you know.
He does drugs, guys. He does drugs.
He's from the 80s.
And they all did drugs.
They all did drugs. But yeah, he had his vices and he struggled with them. But all in all, he's still My dad.
Question for you while we picking apart your childhood story.
I mean, you pick.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get there. How did your? Cause you ain't gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him. I don't like lying on my people.
Oh.
How did your bads? How did the bad part of your daddy affect you?
Well, with him being having his vices and being around so many people that had vices, he wasn't the only one that was affected by the epidemic. I had cousins. Other relatives that were affected by the '80s epidemic, and all it did was made me know I wanted no parts of it. Because drugs made you ugly.
It was just that simple?
It was just that simple. I don't give a damn what it did for you mentally, physically. It made you ugly. I seen some of the prettiest people turn into some of the ugliest people.
Whitney Houston.
Because of that drug.
Whitney Houston. I see what you're saying. Okay, I get it.
My daddy was fine. Look at me, people.
Was he?
Joe Rodeo was one of them ones. That's why he got all them kids.
Look at me, people. They say we kind of favor.
You do.
So,
you look like your granddad. You look like your But no, JoJo was finer than you.
How dare you? Episode over, all of this shit is done. I don't know who podcast she thought she was on.
JoJo was fine. Like, he was really, really a nice looking man. And, his vices, it did help, And he's still a nice looking man.
But how did it impact you?
It made me not want to go nowhere near any drugs.
Okay.
So I never smoked weed. I never did any kind of drugs that took me off my...
So was he like a present parent?
He was as present as he could be with the things that he suffered from. I can say that.
What do you mean?
Like, at all my big events, my dad was there. If I was running track or we had a basketball game and I was cheering, my dad was there. He was more present than my mom was with that. That's just facts. So I can never say he wasn't there at the big moments in my life because he was always there. He may be drunk, but he was there.
Fair enough.
And that still meant a lot to me coming up,
Absolutely. So, can you give me a memory you got with Joe Rodeo?
God, I got a good one.
Just give me one good one.
So, I was the youngest member of the Piccolo Panthers pom-pom squad, the very first pom-pom squad that school had. They were only picking like 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, but they let me in at 4th grade because I was that girl. Let's be honest, I was that girl. And so I was little and petite and everything, so I was always in the front or on top of the pyramid and all that. But every year Piccolo would throw this big talent show, and we would give like this amazing finishing dance type thing. And I asked my dad to come, and he did. But right before, like a week before the event happened, he got into a fight. And somebody cracked his head open, so he had to get all his hair cut off and get stitches. So him and Uncle Derek show up.
Terrible combination, guys.
Show up at Brian Piccolo Elementary School, pissy drunk, with his shaved head.
And the scar running through the legs.
And they was my mama was so fucking mad. But my daddy was out there cheering louder than anybody I ever, and it meant everything to me. Even it was a little embarrassing at the time, but looking back on it, he still made it there for me.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's one of my favorite memories of my daddy, baby. He was out there loud. He was small, baby.
Now I can say, Great Aunt JoJo do got one of the sweetest hearts I've ever seen in my life. He's a great human being. Mm-hmm. I don't think he in old age, do you really have to self-reflect? Like, dude, at some point, you just stop giving a fuck. In the end, you kind of...
But he shows you love the way he know how, the way he can. He don't have a lot of money, so I can't give you
There's a lot of people like that.
But I always felt like if my dad won the lottery and he won $1 million, he gonna keep 25 of them millions and he gonna get the rest of them to us.
That's facts.
That's how.
That's facts though. What he do with the 25 might be insane.
Insane.
But that's facts. You got any other significant figures in that household who took part in raising you?
In that household? Yeah. Well, my grandma Rose.
Shout out my granny. I just want to segue into my boo. Hey, granny, I love you. I talk about you every podcast episode, and today will be no different. How did Grandma Rose play an impact on your life?
My grandmother is one of my favorite people in the world. And I say that because she could never see any wrong in anything that I did, and I did a lot of wrong. But even in that, she would be able to show me that even if I did wrong, I still was a good person. You know,
Right.
she gave me all my self confidence. She gave me my self worth. She made me feel important in times when I felt like I was nothing.
Question for you, and I never asked you this question. Who had a greater impact on your life, your grandma Rose or your mother?
Grandma Rose.
That's a shit. That's some shit right there. But for those who don't know about my grandmother has been a staple in our family since we lost another grandmother, which was my dad. Y'all know how everybody got that one pivotal person in their family? I feel like right now, that's my grandma Rose for me, and she's 88, something like that.
She gonna fuck you.
She ain't gonna see this episode. I'm gonna block her from this episode.
She gonna
but she up there. You know what I'm saying? She about dust.
She's the oldest of 32 children.
Yep, and she's still here. You know what I'm saying? You ever think about the days of her not being here? Because I do. Sometimes.
I don't think about it.
I'm gonna knock on wood.
I don't think about it. I choose not to think about it because I thought Grandma D was gonna be here forever. Mm-hmm. And the fact that she passed away from choking and not from like a heart attack, a stroke, a cancer, diabetes, anything like that, it was harder because you wasn't expecting it. Mm-hmm. And when she passed on her birthday, she died on her birthday, and later on that day we were supposed to take her out to Joe's Crab Shack because she loved her some Joe's Crab Shack.
Joe's Crab. If she was here now for these seafood boils, they doing these days. They putting everything in that motherfucking seafood bag. They like get you some noodles in the seafood. No, for real, they cooking in them.
Them noodles in the seafood.
Hey, it's kind of a hit. But more questions for you. So you got pivotal grandmas, you got pivotal dads. How's your relationship with your mother?
I have a good relationship with my mom now.
Now, why now?
Because I'm grown.
Then what happened in childhood?
The same thing that happens with every mother and daughter in childhood. We just got to a point where we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of shit. And
was it from birth?
No, my mama was a great mom, and I don't say that enough. She was a great mother for me and my sister, my little sister. She raised us. She taught us the same thing I tell you all the time. She taught me how to work, keep house, move forward, and how to look the part. But somewhere along the line, she lost her way. And when she lost her way, it made me and my sister lose our way.
Absolutely.
But as you get older, you understand that people go through shit. It took me to be a grown woman to understand that women go through shit. Some of the things she went through, I still don't understand to this day why she put herself through that. But I have forgiven her for those things.
Like, now give me one. Just one.
Again, my mother was a great mother. She always chose good partners. Every partner she had was good for me and my sister, except for that last one. Well, not the last one, but
the quarter to the last.
The quarter to last. He wasn't a good person. He wasn't a good person for her. He wasn't a good person for me and my sister. He wasn't a good person for himself. And I think loneliness set in, and I think she just grabbed on to somebody just so she wouldn't be by herself type of deal. She settled. And she settled for shit. And she was way better than that.
So did he violently? Was it domestic? Was it vocally domestic? Was it physically abused?
I don't want to put all her business on the street because it's not my story to tell, but it was abuse, physical, mental, emotional, and I just wasn't taking it. Yeah. I kicked his ass a couple times.
You kicked his ass?
A couple times. I said what I said.
Interesting.
Yeah. I wasn't taking it. I can say what I learned from him is that it's just some shit off of me and I'm not taking. Looking at their relationship taught me that it's things that I would never take from a man. And I think that made me a stronger woman today.
Give me one of those things. Because there's somebody out there right now taking some shit. There's somebody out there right now taking a lump upside their head thinking that's all they can do.
I'm going to say this to any young girl that's going to any kind of abuse. You don't have to take that. You don't have to take that. It's too many avenues and too many other men out here for you to be taking a smack upside there. I am about to be 50 years old in November. And I can say here with 100% certainty that I've never got my ass whooped by no man.
Except that one.
Nope.
Huh?
Nope.
Not even one.
Not even one.
No.
I had one guy. He slapped me as a teenager. He backhanded me off.
He pimp smacked you.
Pimp smack.
He got you.
I was about 7. It was way before I had kids. So I was like 17, and I was dating this guy. I didn't know he was a dope fiend. I had no idea he was on that white woman.
On that booger sugar.
He was on
smack
that. He was on that horse, and I didn't know it. And he came to my house one night. I was living at the big house on Long. And it was the middle of the night, and he called me and asked me to come outside. I'm like, what the fuck you want me to come outside for? So I came outside like a goofy because it's my boyfriend. He asked me to get in the car. It was 2 guys in the back looking like I ain't never seen these niggas before. You know what he want. So he pulls off from the house, and he pulls down the street. And he pulled up, and then he parked, and he started asking me questions, like weird-ass questions, like, what was you at Thursday? Thursday, nigga, I don't know. The fuck? And he said, well, my boy told me one of the niggas in the back seat, who I'd never seen before. Nigga in the back seat told him that I was trying to holler at him. I looked back like, I don't even know. And before I could even look back around, he had cold pimp slap. Like, he got all of his hand. No.
Damn.
He was a darkie.
Damn.
And he wrenched back to slave.
Wrench back is crazy.
He wrenched back, and he caught me right mid-sentence.
He pootie tanged you.
He pootie tanged me. And I was so stuck. And they in the backseat cheering this shit on. I said, so all y'all want to die in this bitch today. And he tried to pull off. And when he tried to pull off, we was right in front of Heads Up on North Avenue in Long. Shout out Heads Up.
I'm pretty sure that don't exist no more.
Oh, no, it's still there.
Heads Up?
It's still there. They still there.
The only Heads Up I know is 7-Up. Time to play 7-Up.
I grabbed the wheel, and I stumped his foot into the gas, and we took off. And I'm swerving, we fighting, I'm dinking him. Dinking his ass. He hit the brakes real hard right in the middle of the street, so it got the people inside of Heads Up attention, and Young Timmy was there.
Shit. Y'all don't know what I'm telling you. That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. But anyway, they came out with the curling irons and everything, with the hot curlers. Mm. Yeah, it was a mess. But you know what the messiest part about it was?
What's it?
I went back to that nigga.
That's typically what we do when we don't see the value in ourselves.
I did not see the value in myself.
No, that's typically how we end up. When do you feel like you started to see the value in yourself?
It wasn't that I saw the value in myself. I saw no value in him. Is when I got away from him.
Okay. So you left when you saw no value. Okay, that's fair too.
I'll tell this story real quick. A couple months later, after that, I had started hearing rumors about him dating this girl that looks like me. They be like, girl, I thought I saw you in the car with this person. I'm not going to say his name because I'm not finna give him that. But he a dope head anyway. I think he ain't living on the street.
We're going to call the nigga Clarence for the sake of that.
No, we're going to call that nigga Keith.
So the nigga named Keith. Got it.
Lil Keith.
Lil Keith Stanfield. It was you.
And people had been telling me, people around the way were like, yeah, girl, I thought I saw you. Girl was a girl with a dark skin, girl with a ponytail. I was always the dark skinned, skinny girl with the ponytail. So this one particular time, it was, I don't remember, it was springtime, and we had walked around by his house, and I ran into some of my peoples, and we stopped to talk to a friend of mine, shout out BBD, and he was like, sis, I heard the brother, and he started running it down to me, and I'm like, nah, he ain't doing that, blah, blah, blah. Dummy.
He's doing that shit.
I go to he was like BBD house was here, and his house was down here at the corner, so I go down there to his house, B and Brian and a friend of ours. I knock on the door like I do all the time. I've been in this house 1,000 times, like, it's nothing different, so I knock.
Look, Keith.
Motherfucker open the door. A bitch come to the door. She did look like me. She did. She was dark-skinned, ponytail, but she was taller than me. And I was like, hey, look, Keith here. And she was like, what the fuck you want with Keith? Oh, I said, bitch, hold up. Don't get points, bitch. And this little short motherfucker, because he was a shorty.
You got slapped by a
shorty.
Shorty. That's what we talking.
No, JT.
JT ain't that short.
Yeah.
JT like 5'7".
Okay, well, About 5'7", 5'8".
Okay.
She was taller than him.
So y'all was the same height?
Yeah. Okay. She was taller than him.
All right.
He looking over her shoulder, like, what you want? I felt so dumb.
Dealing with lower Farquhar.
Farquhar. And I'm like, and I was so stuck for words, I didn't know what to do. So I just slumped into myself, put my head down, and walked off the porch.
Damn.
My sister said, bitch, if you don't go back up there and figure some shit out of this bitch, we gonna turn this motherfucker out. So I slumped myself back down to the corner where BBD was at. He was like, oh, no, sis, we ain't finna do that. You know what I'm saying? So he run back in the house and got whatever he got, and he was like, we going back. We went back. You know what I'm saying? And he came to the door and shit, and I was like, blah, 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 blah. And I just got the kicking and swinging. We was kicking and swinging. But that was the end of that. I knew then I didn't have the value in myself that I needed, but I saw the less value in him that I needed to get the fuck on away from. You know what I'm saying? I was too good for whatever this situation was. For sure.
So when do you feel like value came that you saw in yourself?
Honestly, when your daddy came.
Who was my daddy?
You know the dude that you interviewed on season 5?
Season 5 is crazy. You talking about episode 5, dude that was like, you know what I mean?
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 I think me and Daddy gonna do an episode, and every time he say, you know what I mean, we're gonna take a shot.
Yeah.
Every time. We're gonna leave this bitch crawling. But so, how did Daddy come along?
So, let's fast forward. I done went through my little teenage stage, and it was Mother's Day. Mother's Day, 1995. And
damn.
And I had been seeing him because he was friends with my sister's boyfriend, and they had been coming over a lot. But he had a girlfriend at the time. He swear they was not boyfriend and girlfriend, but as far as my eyes can see, they was boyfriend and girlfriend. Yes, because every time you see Brandon Clans, you see Chicken and this girl. So what am I supposed to think? So I can't flirt with somebody that's got a man. I mean, that's got a woman.
Might have been his sister. You never know.
That wasn't his sister. Anyway, so I had been seeing him. He had came to the house a couple times with Clarence. He would speak, but it would just be that. And one day I seen him in the discount mall. Shout out discount mall. And
I'm pretty sure that don't exist no more.
It's still there. Still there. Discount mall still there. Shout out Mr. Lee. Shout out Mr. Lee.
I'm pretty sure he don't exist no more.
And
rest in peace, my nigga Lee, man.
He's not dead, bro. He still got a breeding supply right there. Damn.
It's in the family now.
And so we would flirt, but it was like nothing like major. And like the day before Mother's Day, he asked me what I was doing for Mother's Day, and I'm like, I don't have any plans, And he was like, can I take you out? I'm like, for Mother's Day, that's weird. But fuck yeah, I like food. Yeah, you can take me out. Now, if you ask your daddy this story, he's going to tell it a different way.
Oh, I will.
When I walked out to get in the car, he said, hey, I like that shirt. Okay, I had on a Blackhawks jersey and some shorts. And he going to tell you that I lift the shirt up to show him my boobs. That never happened. That never happened. You know what I'm saying? But he asked me out. We went out the next day, which would have been May 13th, 1995. And we've been together since.
Very interesting. What was it about him that felt the most different from most? What kept him around? Because the thing about it is, when you're dealing in relationships, typically you. I'm gonna be honest. The other day, I had a thing in my brain, and I was like, "What if I'm single, not because I'm afraid to get in a relationship, but because I'm used to the trauma, and that's what I find in people. What if all I've been through is what I'm familiar with, and that's what I notice first?
I feel like you always had a Captain Save-A-Hoe syndrome.
God damn.
I've always thought that.
I've had a Captain Save-A-Hoe syndrome?
But I had too.
Huh. Who did I save?
I'm not about to do that.
All right. I quit. But, all right, Captain. I had a thought the other day, and it was like, what if we're only single because every time we find something good, we run it away because we're so used to the trauma?
Yep.
What was it about Daddy that made the trauma feel forgettable or unfamiliar?
Your daddy got a Captain Save-A-Hoe syndrome too.
So you telling me you was just...
That's all he needed to say.
How did he save you? What happened?
I was just... Man, I was fresh out of the relationship with I'm definitely not saying his name.
You talking about...
I'm not doing that.
Torres Senior.
TC Senior. So, no, I'm not going to do that. But I was fresh out of a relationship, and that wasn't even... I'm going to stop lying. That was not a relationship. That was some shit that happened.
Let's talk about it for a second, because I feel like a lot of people right now are in some shit that happened. They ain't in real shit. They in shit that happened.
Shit that happened was I was young. He was handsome. It was time. We did the thing. I got pregnant. He wasn't really interested in me like that. And I had to do what I needed to do for myself. I didn't stay in that situation long because at that point I was learning the value in me. And I knew he had no value in him. So I had to, I looked in the mirror one day and I was like, you got to do this on your own, old girl. You got to, And I come from a family of very, very strong women on both sides, on my mom's side and on my dad's side. My mom was super strong. My grandmama dear was a monster. Annie, Bernice, Melanie. These are women that kick down doors and strong pit bull bitches. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that was something that I was going to have to do until I found better. And your dad was better.
Well, my mother really doesn't quite understand how podcasting works. For all of our new people who never actually seen episode 5, I have an older brother. His name is Handsome. That's really not his name, but I know a nigga named Handsome, which is actually a crazy thing to name a kid.
It is.
But his name is Tori. Very handsome man. He's actually my older brother. Mm-hmm. He's my mother's first child, but we don't share the same father. Mm-hmm. I actually met his father the other day for the first time, and the shit blew my mind. I say, these the same niggas? I say, what the... And the thing about it is, I always saw my older brother, and we're vastly different, but like I would always wonder where he got it from. And I'm looking at his daddy, and I'm like, this is clearly where the fuck he got it from. But we ain't gonna talk about that man particularly. In what regard was that relationship? How was that relationship hard? What trauma lived in that?
It was never a relationship.
That connection.
It was a hookup.
Okay, how long did this hookup last?
It didn't even last the 9 months it took to make the baby.
Shit.
He was attracted to me. I was attracted to him. Mm-hmm. But he didn't. He had. You know how people got a specific type?
Yeah.
I didn't fit his type. I was just cute. Mm. He liked light skinned girls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He liked them red bone chicks. I just happened to be cute, and it was a group of us.
He liked them justices.
Yeah, them justices. And I was cute, and it wasn't supposed to be a baby made, but it happened, and he wasn't interested in me like that. And I really, really tried to make it something, but it was, I had to face the fact that I'm just not his cup of tea. Mm-hmm. You can't be everybody's cup of tea.
Was it like a smack in the face the fact, or was it like a gradual, not get it now, nigga?
It was a smack in the face.
Was he there for the birth?
No.
Shit. So he couldn't have been there for the birth because you met Daddy in between time. Were you pregnant when you met Daddy?
No. I met your dad on Mother's Day. Tori was like 6-7 months old.
Okay, 6-7 months old. All right. Fair enough.
And
that's a lot for a man to come in and just want to do for a 6-7 month old.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know a lot of niggas these days, like, I don't even want you to have one kid.
Exactly.
I actually hate the way this generation think about that.
Terrible.
Because you can say you love a person, but then you don't accept what this person comes with. Okay, but I'm listening to the story. Go ahead.
He just didn't like me like that. Mm-hmm. And no matter what I did, he would never like me like that because I wasn't his type.
So what about Daddy coming along made you feel like he liked you like that? Because and you weren't just another.
Your dad came to me and asked me out on a date.
Hold up now.
Back in the day, niggas wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. They take a bitch to the crib, to the telly. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He asked me out to dinner for Mother's Day. That was deep. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, you sure?
I'm finna ask a motherfucker out for Easter. Soon.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm finna get a motherfucker for Easter. St. Patrick's Day, baby. I'm feeling a little lucky. Trying to.
And funny story, he came the next day to pick me up, and we were supposed to do like a double date with my sister and her boyfriend at the time. They got to arguing, so it just ended up being me, him, and the boyfriend.
And the boyfriend?
And the boyfriend. My sister didn't want to go. She went on to her better date. And we were supposed to go to Benihana, because that was the shit back in the day. Oh, you went to Benihana, you had a little change, you know. But that motherfucking line in Benihana was so goddamn long. It was like a 3-hour wait. Mm-hmm. So it was a Ruby Tuesdays in the same parking lot where the Benihanas was. So we went to Ruby Tuesdays, and that was our first date. And it was nice. It was really nice to be on an actual date. Mm-hmm. We had conversation, even though we had this third wheel sitting over there in the corner.
Y'all talking like, what's your favorite color? He like, shit, mine blue.
Right. He was mad to the motherfucker. He was like, I can't even believe this bitch didn't come on this date. I'm like, hold on, that's still my sister, bro. But, yeah, and we stayed together from that first date up until whatever date this is right now. He and there sitting on the couch now waiting for this shit to be over.
So, like, did you ever reach a point to where you was like, in the dating process to up until having babies or any of that, where you was like, I don't know if I can do this? Or was it always just like a for surety?
It was I don't know. All I know is that he was different from he was mature. He was very, very, because you got to remember your daddy like 4 or 5 years older than me. Mm-hmm. So I was like 20 at the time.
He was 24?
Huh? Yes, he was like 24, 25. So he had a maturity in him that I had. And I had dated older men before, but they still wasn't mature. They were still just older men acting like young boys. So it was a different vibe with him. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't trying to take me to the hotel and knock my socks off. He was honestly trying to get to know me. Yeah. And he took the time to get to know me. And I feel whatever it was he wanted to know about me, he liked what he saw. Mm-hmm. And we rocked out ever since then.
Rocked out ever since then is a crazy statement.
Ever since then.
What did you say the hardest part about your relationship was? I would say about your marriage, but I feel like that's a different question. And I'm trying to ask, what was the hardest part about the relationship between you and that man?
Everybody else. It was nothing with me and him. It was everybody else around us, because nobody thought that we would get together and stay together. Mm-hmm. So when people saw us month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, people started getting a little, irritated by it.
Name one.
His friend.
Is he still friends?
Nah.
Didn't think so.
Nah. He left town, but just people like when people not used to you being in some good shit, they want to take you out of that good shit.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if you can actually ask him when you interview him what their conversation was like after that. But it was just a bunch of little shit, and shit just kept happening. And I was sabotaging our shit too. I could say that I was the worst part of our beginning, because I was so used to shit going bad that I kept trying to sabotage it and make it go bad, because that's what I was used to. Mm-hmm. And I broke up with your daddy every 15 fucking minutes. Anytime I felt like the wind was blowing wrong, oh, that nigga fucking around.
Nigga gotta go. And what do you think was in him that made him want to stay?
I don't know. That bro nigga was crazy.
I don't know.
It was this one incident where me and my little sister got into it. She was with her little friends. You know, when people get with their friends, they talk crazy. I ain't the talk crazy person. And I never go forget. Clarence had went and got her hair done. Back then, everybody's wearing the big feather ponytail, looking like big cockatoos and shit. And she had her little fan ponytail up in the air and shit. And she threw her little friends, and they was talking shit and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting on the porch talking shit. And the last thing I heard her say is, that's why that nigga don't want her nowhere. He only fucking with her because of me. I came out the house and pushed her over off that porch.
And it was like a 10-foot porch. Yeah.
I mean, we was scrapping, baby. I pulled that ponytail out her motherfucking head, and we was going at it. And soon as we finished, when they broke that shit up, I got on the phone. Andy had one of them do phone. I got on that phone. I was paged his ass 911. He called me back. I was like, well, fuck you then, nigga. You ain't have to fuck with me no way.
To not get the nigga side of the story is crazy.
I was like, fuck you. You ain't got to call me if you ain't want me no way. I assumed that she was right. because that's what I was used to. You know what I'm saying? And he hung that phone up, and he always say he was on fucking Division. He said he was like on Division and like Costner or some shit like that under the viaduct, and he made a U-turn.
That's close enough. That was like probably 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
And he said that he U-turned and came back, but Clarence was in the car with him. And she said, because of Clarence. And so now I got to whoop Clarence ass. It was so bad. It was so bad that they had to call my daddy. They called my grandma and my granddaddy. And they jumped in their car. I was tearing shit up. I was heated. Remember we were talking about that earlier. Back in the day, when I got mad, you can't stop me. You just got to let me just calm myself down. So I started walking up Augusta, going towards Central. This was like midnight. So my dad pulled up to the house, and they was like, well, what did he at? And he took off running. He called me. He kept trying to calm down, and I was in tears. I was mad. He was like, well, why are you so mad? I was mad because I was humiliated. I really felt like he was only messing with me because of his friend and my sister, and that he vocalized this, not thinking that she just was talking shit out of anger. You know what I'm saying? So he started walking me back down the hill going towards the house, and I seen that motherfucking station wagon pull up.
Station wagon?
Baby, when I tell you I had them Sonic the Hedgehog feet, bitch,
station wagon is crazy.
Oh, baby, the station wagon was popping with the sounds in the back. Don't do that.
Sure.
And Clarence was on the driver's side. I ran up to the window. I was like, do. Bitch, get out the car. If he ain't want me, blah. I was trying to pull Cletus out that car. I am so sorry, Clarence. I am. But I won't fight him.
Yeah,
he didn't. Chicken had to mend it. He had to reassure me that she just talking shit. I ain't never told your sister no shit like that, bro. He was like, girl, if I didn't want to be here, and I hadn't even gave none yet. That was the truth.
Damn.
I hadn't even gave none.
Pops really wanted her. You know what I'm saying?
So
that's crazy.
After he calmed me down, I talked with my grandmother. Like they all calmed me down. I mean, because it took a minute. It took me. My blood pressure was up. I was angered. But it took your dad to reassure me that I'm here because I want to be. Nobody said if I didn't want to be here, I just wouldn't fucking be here. I don't have to be here for them. I don't owe them shit.
Facts.
You know. But the immature person that I was like, you lying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't really like me like that. But again, I didn't feel valued. So I can say that he placed those little things in me that made me know that I was valuable, that I was wanted, that I was smart, that I was loved, and that I was demure.
Crazy. And you used it wrong. But like, what is your favorite part of marriage?
Having a companion. Yeah. My favorite part is that he knows my inner workings. He knows when I'm not feeling well. He knows when I'm feeling bad. He knows when I need a break. He knows when I just need to yell, scream. He knows my inner workings. You know, just from looking at me across the room. He can look. We could be in the same room, and I can have a look on my face. He's like, you're right. And I'm like, You know what I'm saying? That's the man that I love. Like, he's not perfect, but he's perfect for me. Mm-hmm. And he didn't save a hoe. He rescued a hoe. Get
your silly ass. He didn't save a hoe. He rescued a hoe.
He was a rescue ranger.
Feel that. Rescue ranger.
Because honestly, and this is not even a joke. I honestly believe if it wasn't for your dad coming into my life when he did, I'd have been in jail.
I can see that. I can see that, y'all. I can see that. Yeah. I can see that. So what would you say is the hardest part about marriage?
30 years.
The time.
You just be like, ew, you still here?
After all that, you talking about, you still here?
Man, bro, you still chew like that? Like that, bro. Like, it's little shit like that. But you instantly will be like, you know, he'll say some shit to make me laugh, and I'll be right back like it was our first day. Yeah. Like, it's hard to be with anybody for 30 days. It's extremely hard to be with somebody.
Shit don't last 30 days nowadays. Shit don't make it.
Yeah, because people not putting in the work. And I don't want to sit online and act like me and him did not have our fair share of fuck ups, because we both had our fair share.
But what didn't you do?
I didn't leave.
What else did you do? What did you tell yourself you needed to do to make this relationship last? You didn't leave.
No, I didn't leave.
Y'all didn't do what? I can tell you. If y'all, she don't want to tell you. I've never seen my parents argue in front of us.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Every single time they take it out to the car.
Yeah.
I've never seen my dad put my hands on my mother. I've never seen my mother put my hands on my dad. I've never seen either one of them call each other out their names. I've always seen both of them share duties in the household. My dad gave my mother the option to work, and when my dad couldn't work, my mother kept working. And when my dad, you know, they both worked. They everything was everything, like together.
We are a partnership.
It was a true partnership. Can I ask you, how do you believe your marriage or the relationship you set forth or displayed to your children affected your children? Individually. I'm going to go individually. You got 4 kids. Let's go individually. We're going to put Tori on the table.
But I think that that's something that they would be able to answer better than I could answer. I can't answer.
No, I feel that. I
can't answer what they got out of it. I just know I raised some intelligent, strong, loving, caring men, you know, and daughter, you know. But I do know that all of my children, especially the boys, they want relationships. You want you want a relationship. You want a marriage. Tori wants a relationship, a family. JT stuck in there because that's what he wanted. But sometimes you pick the wrong people to want those things with.
Facts.
And sometimes the first few tries is a fuck up. You might not find it till that 5th try. But don't mean you stop trying.
That's very fair. If I could tell y'all anything about my brothers, everybody wanted what they saw. Everybody wanted the wife, the family, the kids. Everybody wondered, like, is this really who these people are? This is what we saw. This is what we wanted. Don't get me wrong. We ain't see the goddamn Brady Bunch. You know what I'm saying? But to some degree, we was the Jackson 5 when we needed to be. We was goddamn the Cosby Show when we needed to be. Full House when we needed to be. XYZ. And it left me, my older brother, my younger brother, and I'm going to name him. Tor is my older brother. I'm Kevin, Demetri Wiley, of course. I have a younger brother, his name is Justin Wiley, and I have a sister, her name is Brooklyn Wiley, and everybody's always wanted the same thing, and that's love and relation. It's a partnership. I've always idolized 30 years of marriage as compared to, 30 days of fun. It's never equated the same thing for me. And how is it for you? Because I don't want to say all, but some. I feel like you've watched heartbreak hit your children. How was that for you?
That's a struggle as a mother. Watching somebody break your kids' heart is hard. But what I had to learn is that I can't fix it. I can only give you the tools and the advice to go fix it on your own. Because me stepping in and trying to fix it just makes the shit worse. All I can do is say, hey, baby, listen. Maybe you need to go and talk to her about it. Maybe y'all need to sit down and have a conversation. Maybe you need to get the fuck out. But I'm there for you for whatever you need. Whatever my kids need, I don't give a fuck if they need a body buried. I got the shovel.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying?
I probably shouldn't have said amen after murder, but it's just who I am. I'm sorry. Lost Loverboy Podcast. But I'm listening.
But yeah, so I just had to be the voice. Sometimes you just need to be a sounding board. And that's what my goal is, to be there. Because I do love my mom, but she's not a good sounding board. She don't listen. I can be on the phone having a conversation with her, and I can be done broke down some really things that I really needed to talk to her about. She was like, girl, but yeah, I found this coat on sale. That's not listening. You know what I'm saying?
This coat on sale is crazy.
You know?
So who's the best soundboard you have now?
You, honestly.
It's now Lost Loverboy Podcast exclusive.
Don't.
Oh, my bad. I thought I had a bomb on there. God damn it. None of this shit works.
None of it.
Logan broke all this. But what makes a good soundboard?
Someone that actually listens to what you're saying, even if they don't have an opinion to put in, but just knowing that somebody is hearing you is the best sounding board ever. I have people that I can talk to, but they just listening. They're not hearing me. They're just listening. when people come and talk to me, I try to take in as much information of what they're giving me and try to give them the best information possible. I'm not one of those people that let you finish your sentence and then go back to something that I want to talk about. We're gonna get out what you want to talk about. I want to be that for people. So
absolutely,
that's my goal.
I feel like you are. I feel like we had our riff, and we went without speaking for a very long time, and I think that may have been the hardest 2 years of my life that I've ever endured, because I had nobody else to talk to. I was just lonely and in a box, But we talk every day now.
But I feel like we both needed that.
Oh, for sure. You needed a reset on.
Yes.
You needed a reset on
because it taught
your
me
appreciation for the person.
It taught me that my relationship with my son is very important to me. So not having that relationship with you anymore made me have to go back and reevaluate myself, because there's something wrong with me if I can't even have this relationship with somebody I gave birth to. Mm-hmm. So I had to go back and look in the mirror and see that I'm not that great a person. So maybe I need to go learn tools to become a better person. I feel like I did.
You did a great job. And I was telling somebody the other day on my Discord, shout out to the soulmates. I love speaking to y'all. I learned a lot from talking to them, and I don't even think they know that. But I was having a conversation, and I was telling them, don't give up on their parents. Mm-hmm. Because she was telling me how her parents are this way, and, they tend to see things their way. I was like, allow people room to change and grow and mature. I've watched you and Daddy become much better people in general, like vast category, which has made y'all much better grandparents than parents, which has made y'all much, and I'm sure one day you'll be much better great-grandparents when you got a, ball of 10 up in your hand and just slip it to them.
A little bit out of purse.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm overly proud of the people y'all became. It's super inspiring the way y'all show up for every kid, not just me. Like, y'all always where I need to be, and y'all always got my back, but y'all show up for each and every one of them the same way. And it's actually crazy, like, beautiful to see. But we absolutely needed that break to come back. Because when we jump back in, we jump back in.
Tough.
You know what I'm saying? We was in there, back every day. You know what I'm saying? And it was absolutely, it was absolutely a son who needed his mother. Because when I went through what I went through, when I went through my little rift with depression, and I feel like not all, but most of your children have experienced that by now. You know what I'm saying?
I think all.
And the beauty of it is, what's going on is all of them are coming out that shell at the same time. Like, we had the R&B and Me. Shout out to everybody who came out for the R&B and Me. It was incredibly too beautiful. Like, I loved it, every single moment of it. But my favorite parts, if I could just list my favorite parts for a second, I ain't had that much fun with my brothers in years. Like, first off, my brothers have never come out to an event that I've had. They always got something to do. They always working, or they always XYZ. It's not that they don't want to come, but, Life. We've had our rifts and our battles and our ups and downs, but they came outside and they saw everything in broad perspective. Them niggas stopped and stepped back and was like, this nigga really, like, famous for real. And I don't even think I'm that, you know what I'm saying? But I loved how they found their moment in what I had going on. And you could see how happy they were for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Another monumental point for me, being able to see everybody I've been talking to for so long. I think that's beautiful. The way you form a community and then watch your community come together, incredible. Another major moment for me, and it's in my phone, and I haven't got to it yet because I want to take my sincerest, moment to actually speak on it. But a friend Jose, man, you know Jose. Mm-hmm. Jose was the very first person to allow me to do something major in music. Jose opened up his home to me. And that very first music video that actually broke me out of my shell when it came to making videos happened in Jose's house. He didn't charge me anything. I met that man because we used to work together, and he believed in me. So he allowed that to happen. I remember sitting at the job with Jose and being like, this is what I'm going to do, XYZ, I want to do music, I want to do this, I want to do that. And when I get there, you're going to be my security. Because what people don't know is, like, Jose is, like, Navy trained. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's in the Marines. But Jose sent me a message on Instagram. And you know how the message come to your notification, but you ain't really opened it yet? Mm-hmm. I ain't want to open it because I ain't want it to be lapsed in my day. A lot of times I open shit and I forget it. Because I don't have as much time as people think I got. I be moving. Jose said, in my lifetime, I've never seen anybody stand on what they said they was going to do. He said, I've never seen somebody execute exactly what he told me he was going to do 5 years ago. He said, I'm so proud of you, and it's inspiring. He said, just between me and you, and he said, just between me and you, so if he asks y'all ain't done this shit. He ain't gonna watch the pod, but he said, just between me and you, I haven't felt like I've had purpose in a very long time. And he was like, you giving me that, and I appreciate you. Jose is one of my closest friends, and we will always be good friends. Jose was at the More for Less party. Jose has always shown up for me, and I was there when he first became a grandfather, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. You got to show up for your people. If that's not something I can get y'all to understand, show up for your people. And it was amazing to see how my people show up for me. So I thank them, I thank you, I thank everybody for the way they show up for me, because this thing is bigger than me. I don't be standing on these stages and seeing myself. I see what's going to happen down the line for everybody I care about. And it was just an incredible weekend, but to dial back into the conversation, we would have never been there if my mother hadn't scooped me up off the ground, missed my depression. When my arm was bleeding out, you snatching me in and saying, you gonna come live with me. You know what I'm saying? Even though you can afford to be by yourself, you don't need to be by yourself. We got you, and I did. And that's when all of this started to pop off. You know what I'm saying? All of this started to happen, and a lot of people don't even know that. A lot of our early TikTok lives and a lot of our early, conversations was happening in the comfort of my mother's home. I was writing on TikTok live in the kitchen while they in the room trying to sleep, not because I couldn't afford to live by myself, but because they were there for me in moments I need them. And it's something I will forever be indebted about. And I don't think y'all know, like I said it a long time ago, and I still mean it to this day, my sole goal is to retire y'all. Like that's my sole purpose on the planet. And it's incredible how the people on my podcast or the people on my lives or the people on my can see and want to help with something so monumental. Because if I can't tell y'all nothing, they've deserved it. In every occasion when I couldn't see value in myself because this relationship ended, y'all spoke that life for me. My mama would come in and she would just sit on the edge of my bed and she was like, I know what you want, but God got a pace for you. She'd sit on my bed and say, take your time. She'd say, don't rush yourself. She'd say, date like this and XYZ. I don't know if y'all know, when I got a crush on a woman, it's in me and my mama call log. Like all our messages, it's just like, and she'd be like, here go the 15th person this nigga said was his wife. And I'd be like, hey, I'm trying though. Like I'm trying. And I just appreciate you for being my very best friend. You know what I'm saying? The moment I just needed a friend, I can't tell you how much you've changed the trajectory of my life just from showing up for me. And since I was a child, since I was a kid, I always told myself nobody would ever disrespect my mama or make my mama feel like she's less than, because I'm always going to speak life into my mama. I'm always going to show her she's worthy of everything we got going on. And I don't think y'all know. Y'all look at me and y'all see greatness in me and beauty in me and love in me. All of those things I get from my mama. Don't get me wrong, my daddy put some of that in me too. He put a work ethic. But exactly who I am, and my daddy will attest to it, exactly who I am as a person is my mama in the male form. That's it. That's all. From the anger to the passion, to the love, to the way we show up for people, to the heart, everything I get from this woman sitting right here. And I cannot express to you how much she means to me, because the podcast episode don't do it. And I ain't gonna cry. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no wimp. You know what I'm saying? But I am for real. And y'all know me, especially on Discord. Y'all see me in tears one time speaking on this exact thing. I cannot tell you how much I love my people in the way they show up for themselves nowadays. I promise you we gonna get there. I put it in music. If y'all go back and listen to More for Less Volume 2, the last track on, I'll say we went from the thrift store to Saks on 5th. We doing it. We was just in Louis Vuitton on Mother's Day. I ain't never bought nothing out of Louis Vuitton in my life, but I'm gonna do it for my mama. And we up in there and we laughing because the nigga like, I ain't never got a drink in the stove. And nigga ain't never bought me a bottle of water. But you know, we in there. That's what we doing. And the thing about it is, what I can't speak to you guys enough is to give it to the people in your life who deserve it. And this is truly that person for me. My dad is that person for me. My family is going to be that person for me. So everybody who came out and partied with us and had fun with us, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Y'all are an extension of us. We got you Always. And that's why conversations like this be had, so people can learn from, exactly what we went through. So y'all ain't got to go through the exact same thing, but now I got to get you with our rapid fire question. This is a bunch of questions that a bunch of people wanted me to ask you. You know what I'm saying? First question is, are you happy?
Yes.
Are you happy? That's a beautiful thing.
Yes, I'm happy.
It says, what do you want people to know about Demetri that the headlines don't show? That TikTok does not show.
Shit. I think they know everything about it. I don't think they don't know.
Give it to them. I'm a transparent book.
It's cranberry apple. Okay.
Don't tell them about that. Don't tell them about that. No, you can give them a little bit. Give them a little bit.
It's not that I need people to know that.
I'm grown.
But he is my child, and he has a side of him that once he's fed up, it's been the one.
I was passionate, y'all.
Very, very passionate.
Let me explain this story real quick. 2 seconds. So, I was staying at my mama's house. My little brother's baby mama was over there. And let me tell y'all something. I was in the midst of my depression. It was at a height. You know what I'm saying? And all goddamn day, I worked a 10-hour shift, 12-hour shift. All day, my mind was locked on this cran apple juice. That's it. It was in the fridge. I'm like, this motherfucker gonna be icy cold, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. I get home, I take a sip of that cran apple. My little brother's baby mama has drunk the juice, refilled the juice with a flat strawberry Fanta pop. Oh, I sipped that juice, I blew up.
Oh, he went.
But the thing about it is, it wasn't about the juice. It was at the time I didn't have too much to look forward to. And when you in the midst of that, when you in the heat of that, everything is just like, it's triggering. Mm-hmm. It's building. Like, it's building up. Your anger, your aggression, and all these things are building up. And so that's definitely something about me that a lot of people don't know. Yeah. But when I'm loyal, I'm loyal. I pop off.
The same energy
for sure
he has when he's angry is the same energy he has when he's loved.
Absolutely.
And he gives that to people every day on every aspect. He has given so much to so many people that has let him down.
For sure
that I pray that everybody that comes into his life now lifts him up and not let him down.
Oh, for sure that. Okay. Next question. Mm-hmm. What were your dreams for yourself?
When I was younger, I went to school for dance.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a school of performing arts, and I was a dance major, and I had dreams of being Debbie Allen or Janet Jackson. I don't know. Those were my dreams. I wanted to be a dancer professionally, but it didn't work out for me. So, yeah, I had to pivot.
She broke her toe. I'm just fucking around. She broke her toe. Somebody says, do you mind sharing the name Mrs. Wiley?
No. I'm already sharing the name Mrs. Wiley because Chicken's mother is the original Mrs. Wiley as far as I'm concerned.
Fair enough. They say, if you could pick one quality in the future Mrs. Wiley, what would it be?
She has to be able to be part of this family. She has to fit in. She has to be funny. She has to be able to go with the flow, because we are go with the flow type of family. If you can't, ladies, if you want to be a part of the Wiley family, you have to engage in what's the word I'm looking for?
Indulge?
No. I'm saying intertwine. You have to intertwine yourself into the Wiley family. We are a family of a bunch of fools. If you think this fool is something else, wait till you see all the fools together. I need someone that can ride that wave with us. And
we some idiots. I ain't gonna hold you.
You can ride that wave with us. You good.
We funny, but goddamn it, when you in, you in. Like, we locked you in.
I'm out there with you in the street.
As our own. I got a question because it's stemming from that question. Mm-hmm. When me and the person I did not last, how did you feel?
It broke me, honestly.
And what part was breaking?
Because I loved her. Mm-hmm. And I thought she loved you the way you needed to be loved. And I was fooled. Mm-hmm. She fooled me. She got over on me. And I thought me and her had a relationship outside of you and her. But I learned quickly that when she was done with you, she was done with everybody. Mm-hmm. And I'm done, period.
And does that make attaching to someone else harder?
No. Because I know how to leave one situation where it's at to start another situation.
Absolutely.
I don't drag shit from the past into the future.
Someone says, who is your favorite daughter-in-law? I think Zara asked that question. She the only one.
It's Zara. Shit.
Hey, she the only
She
one.
over here.
Hey, Zara, you ain't fucking slick.
But
It say Zara 2.78.
Babe, I love Zara. I love Zara. I have grown to love Zara like my own. So yes, it is Zara.
It say, do you want more grandchildren?
Yes.
How many more grandchildren do you want?
It don't make me no different. I ain't gotta raise them.
That's just not fucking fair.
I'm just saying.
I guess. Let's see what we got going on. Let me see. Can you name one core memory with Demetri?
Oh, I have several core memories.
Hit me with one. Give me a good one.
I remember when we went to go buy your first car.
Okay.
Remember we went to go buy your first car?
We had crepes.
Did we have crepes?
Yeah, they gave us crepes for the first time.
And we were sitting in the car talking, and we were getting him his first car. I think he was like fresh out.
16.
16? You were 16? Mm-hmm. And he got a Chevy Cruze. And you don't understand, we were poor.
Facts. I keep telling them that, but they not hearing me.
We were poor. So,
they not hearing me.
So the fact that we were able to go get our son a car was a big moment for us.
Oh, bro.
And me and Kevin was sitting in the car, and he was saying, "Oh, Mom, what is it that, what can I do for you?" I was like, "You know what, Kevin? Just get a bitch nails did. I like to get my nails did." You remember that conversation? You remember that conversation? He was like, "Well, how much is it going to cost to get your nails did?" And I said, "Oh, it's about," back then, it was only like $20, $25. That was a big, we laughed and we talked. Me and Kevin, I have so many memories with Kevin because we're always laughing and talking.
Every day.
If it's just a conversation on the phone or a road trip or us karaokeing together in the living room, I have plenty of moments with Kevin.
You know, one of my proudest moments of you? Mm-hmm. We was on a road trip. And we was coming back from a road trip. And it was some shit. It was a question posed about something. About
women asking men to
marry them. I said, and I still stand by this, understand, I do not want Mrs. Wiley to propose to me, but I would want Mrs. Wiley to love me enough too, if ever I couldn't. For whatever reason. Let's say my knee broke. I don't know. But we in the car, and my daddy like, I agree with Bug. And my mama went off. And when the fuck you ever...
I don't even know why I was mad.
I'm talking about you went off.
I did.
But...
I went off.
But it was a very long road trip. Mm-hmm. And in the midst of that road trip, she sat back and she thought to herself and she apologized to her husband and said, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think people understand how heavy it is to even say I'm sorry, like how much that means. I watched them create a situation and fix a situation all at once. And it literally showed me anything's, solvable or fixable, but when you see yourself. Someone says, what is the best advice you can give a woman in her 20s?
Fine. Love yourself first.
Facts.
Because if you're in your 20s, you're still in your early parts of life, and at that time, it could be a little tricky. A man can trick you out of yourself. Learn to love yourself because you can't love anybody properly until you love yourself properly.
If you had to create a family motto, what would it be? A slogan or a phrase or what wraps the whole Wiley thing up?
Love, laugh, and fuck all everything else.
Someone says, I remember your mom saying she wasn't affectionate, but to her kids at some point. Ask her, how did she come out of it, if she did?
Oh, I'm out of it.
How did you become more affectionate?
Time, I think. Grandkids, I just told someone earlier, shout out to Jasmine, that I wish that I was able to be as affectionate as she is with her children, with my children when I was younger, but I only knew what I knew. My mom wasn't that affectionate. She's more affectionate now, but she was not that affectionate when we were younger. It wasn't a lot of, oh, I love you, and I just needed, space. I wasn't good with people touching me. And I think the whole thing with people touching me come from trauma that I experienced as a child.
Same.
But I think now with my grandbaby, every time, before I hang up the phone now, I say, I love you. Mm. When I see my people, I hug them and say, I love you. Not just my kids, but even my extended family. So it's just something that I just had to be comfortable with.
Okay, fair enough. Mm-hmm. What has been the most beautiful and hardest part about watching Demetri become a man?
The hardest part is that I didn't have my baby anymore. Y'all don't understand. I do have 3 children, but Kevin was always the closest. People say, oh, someone is your favorite. No, there's no such thing as favorite. You do have children that are close to you and children that are not close to you. I love all my children the same, but Kevin has always been that mama's baby. Not a mama's boy. Don't get it twisted.
It's a big difference. And I wish people knew it was different.
Don't get it twisted. And
because, remember that whole debate, who's in the front seat, your mama or your wife?
Yeah.
What was your stance on that?
Me personally, for me, I sit in the back of the car.
Mama ain't give a fuck. She don't care.
I don't really
Not
care.
a big deal. But we gotta take a shot for this
But
episode.
my thing about it is, if my husband's mother, who is quite a bit older than me, comes and she sits in the front seat, out of respect for her, her age or her long, I would get in the back. I'm not going to argue with you about school. We all going to the same place.
We going to the goddamn same place.
So that's just how I feel about that.
Last question for you.
Okay.
And we're going to take a shot to the end of this episode with our Loverboy cups. Shout out to y'all for sending me these cups. I appreciate it. It was given to us at the Clubhouse event.
Right.
They say, if you could say one thing to the future Mrs. Wiley, who truly love and walk with your son, what would it be?
Welcome to the family.
Welcome to the mother. We're going to shake a shot to that. We're going to shot to that. Shot o'clock. I'm going to tell y'all, look, on my daddy episode, he be like, man, I ain't drinking that shit. I got to work next week. All right, cheers, man. Mother, goddamn. Mm-hmm. Listen, there's so much going on. If you're on Discord, I'm trying to plan our in-life Discord family function. We're going to have a barbecue, bouncy houses, slides, jump ropes, all that. Me and my mama, we planning it. Trying to get everything together. It's a lot going on. Please give me grace. Shout out to Truth Talks. Y'all see I'm on that new TV. They say I cuss a lot on there.
You do.
Yes, the fuck I do.
You do.
Fuck you, Donald Trump. I just need something to say. But, I'm going to end it like this. All glory be to God. Thank you for everything he's done in my life. Thank you for my family he blessed me with. I always say, man, we always ask for different people. How about we correlate a better relationship with the people we actually have and then start there? Y'all going to see more of the Wiley family. We working. I'm going to get my family a compound, and on the street it's going to say Wiley Boulevard. Don't tell me it's not possible, because anything's possible
yes,
when you want it. Mother, I love you for coming on today. Thank you for getting us back in motion.
Love you too.
Amen.
Amen.
I finally try to find myself. I've been running from love, just trying to hide from all this pain I felt. Look, trying not to be the joke in the deck of whatever cards get dealt. They say a star still gotta let them align themselves.